the last story is something that's about to happen. And for those of you that have been following it for many years now, NASA has been working with a couple of aerospace companies, SpaceX and Boeing, to build spacecraft that can carry crews to and from the space station. So since 2011, when the space shuttle quit flying, we have relied on the Russian Soyuz spacecraft to get our crews back and forth. There have been lots of delays along the way, mostly related to funding not being what was necessary, as well as it's a hard thing to build a spacecraft that is going to be able to carry people. So on just shortly after midnight, Friday night, Saturday morning, at about 12:45 a.m. will be the first test flight of the SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. And so here's the spacecraft, here's the Falcon 9 rocket preparing to accept it. This will not carry a crew on this first mission. They'll, within a day of reaching orbit, they expect to be docking at the space station. They'll do tests while it's attached, and a week later, it will return to the Earth. And then, assuming that is a successful mission, the next one will carry a crew. Before that happens, they have to do one more flight, though, that's a launch abort test, it's called, where they launch the spacecraft on a Falcon 9 rocket. Just as it's getting to the highest aerodynamic loads on the spacecraft, they set off the escape rockets to separate the crew capsule. And that's the safety measure to, if you have a crew on board and the rocket decides to rapidly disassemble itself while flying, then they have to have a way to escape. And so assuming that test is successful, then likely in the June timeframe would be the first flight of this with the crew on board. So I think Naomi will be giving you an update on this, but if you're interested, I'm sure that this will be on NASA TV if you have access to that. There'll be web streaming from SpaceX as well, so if you're a night owl and would like to watch this shortly after midnight, Friday night, Saturday morning, I think it's going to be a real exciting test.